With the City Business Advantage Platinum Select World MasterCard, you can turn staplers and more into a new adventure when you earn American Airlines Advantage miles on all your business purchases, from office supplies to airline tickets to car rentals. Find out more at citi.com/fly.
Blog Talk Radio.
What time is it?
WH Radio.
What is up? We are live, and this is Wrestling Heads, and I'm joined by Oscar. What's up, Oscar?
What's going on, man?
And I'm doing great. And this is Chris, and tonight, what a guest, one of my personal favorites, and I'm sure a lot of people listening to this show feel the same as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sicilian psychopath, Tommaso Ciampa. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on the show tonight.
Yeah, hey, we're happy to have you, and anytime you want to come back, we're definitely have you on. And I'm going to get right into this because I know we have a limited time, and I want to start off at the beginning. You started at Killer's Kowalski School, which became Chaotic, correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And my question is, I mean, to me, Kowalski is like he's one of my idols. I mean, I've watched a lot of stuff on him, a lot of tape, and my question is, I mean, did you ever have a chance to sit next to him and pick his brain while in his school? I mean, did he share stories or any tips?
Yeah, my time with Killer was, it was just after he had closed the doors down to his original school in Malden, Mass., and he was basically bought out by Chaotic Training Center, Chaotic Wrestling. So his in-ring work at that point was done. He wasn't doing anything hands-on for teaching. So Mike Hollow, which was one of his students, was the head trainer at the time. But Killer would come every Saturday. I don't remember the timing that we had. It was something like maybe 8 a.m. to noon. And he would sit with us. He'd watch the class. He'd give us feedback for each drill we did or the matches. Sometimes you get him to watch tapes with you. So he shared a lot of different tips. But he's a vegetarian who really loved his different, shakes and juices and stuff. So he would share different tips as far as eating, workouts, stories, about his heyday. So it was more that type of stuff. It wasn't like you were getting in there, and getting any hands-on in-ring training. But anytime you can pick a brain of a guy like Killer, you're very lucky.
And he was very fit, and I know he was a vegetarian. But the thing is, back then he was so over as a heel. I mean, it was polarizing. I mean, the stuff that you see on the man, he's one of the greatest ever. And my question, wasn't Eddie Edwards in that class as well that you were watching?
No, me and Eddie, we came up a little bit separate. Eddie came up before me. So Eddie he was at the Malden school. He never made the switch over to Andover. So he was with Malden. It was, Killer was still there, same thing, not so much hands-on, but at that time, Slick Wagner Brown, April Hunter was there, a guy named D.C. Dillinger. I think, again, Mike Hollow was helping out. I don't know who Eddie Edwards would give credit to as his trainer per se, but I know Killer would be there, but I'm not sure who was the hands-on guy. I don't think it was Mike Hollow. But Eddie and I, we were always in New England together, but I think we only were in the ring together like one time before the first time we ever met in Ring of Honor. So it was like we were in the same circles, but we never quite met up. It was weird how it worked out.
Yeah, it's awesome. Go ahead, Oscar.
Yeah, okay, before I ask my question, I want to let our listeners know, if you guys have any questions, just call us up at 760-454-1107, or you can tweet us at WrestlingHeads, or you can tweet me at Sinister632. All right. My first question I want to ask you is, you just mentioned that you were trained by Killer Kowalski. I also saw a list that you also got trained with Spike Dudley, Harley Race, and Al Snow.
Yeah, at different points. I don't know, not so much Spike Dudley, but the others, yeah. when I started, with Kowalski School, Mike Hollow and Killer was down there. And then when I went to developmental, Al Snow was the head trainer down there, which was in Kentucky. So Al was down there with Robert Gibson. Those were the main two guys at the time. And then when I moved on to Harley Race's place, I lived out in Missouri, and Harley ran classes out there. That was at the time, it was Harley Race, and his top student was Go Shiozaki.
So basically you did a little differently. So basically you did a little differently, like, okay, you had more than one trainer, like, you just went to one place to another. That's basically what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I think realistically everybody had more than one trainer. I don't know. You learn every time you get in the ring, so, not that you're going to call all your opponents trainers, because they're not, but if you're in one location long enough, I don't know how guys do it. I tend to move around a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if Boston wasn't really my home in the next couple of years again. I like being in front of different crowds and with different wrestlers who, it just challenges you to constantly change and evolve your style. So, but my main trainers, I would definitely say, would be Mike Hollow, Killer, Harley Race, Al Snow, as far as guys who have probably impacted me the most and changed my style and my philosophies in the ring.
Well, that sounds very interesting. Chris, you got another question?
And what's crazy about the names that you mentioned that were on that list, I mean, all of them are very different individuals. And which brings me to this. I mean, a lot of guys today, I don't feel this way about. For you, it's different. It's like my assumption of you are one of the few today that would fit right in during the territory days, getting over in one part of the country and off to the next area. I mean, I don't know if I'm wrong on that, but to me, you have that old school thing about you. I mean, and I think it's great. I mean, do you contribute that to some of the things you learned from Killer and Harley?
Yeah, I mean, I've always just taken pride in adapting, and I definitely wasn't that good at doing that when I was just with Killer. And it was nothing on Killer, but that was my only experience, was Killer and the New England guys. And then when I moved out to Kentucky, I started to see, okay, this is a different style. WV has their own philosophies. Al Snow has his way of teaching. It was kind of a culture shock, and I didn't really excel. I did pretty poorly. It was after I left Kentucky that I started utilizing what I learned, and I started realizing, wow, I've grown as a wrestler. And as soon as I was back in New England for about 3 months, and I was like, what the hell am I doing here? This isn't the place I'm supposed to be. That's when I went out to Harley. So I think it's just the old school part of me is just, when you sit with Harley Race and Killer, every week over and over and over for a couple of years of your life, Killer's big thing was make people believe. Harley's big thing was, I don't know that Harley had a big thing really. It was more just, it was a tough, rugged way of doing things. And with Harley, I really learned how to handle business and not pussyfoot things, not be a yes man, kind of just be in between and just stand my own ground and be my own man. So I think the two of them really influenced my my mindset going into matches, shows, promotions, and all that different stuff.
Yeah, Harley seems like a man's man. I mean, he's
he's ridiculous. Tough as nails. Had a handgun with him almost at all times. Smoking cigarettes while we were training in the ring. He's just, it's his way, man.
I love when the old school guys talk about him. It's just always a story after story. I mean, no shit, but it's just like I said, he's a man's man. That's awesome to have those two along, let alone the other guys. That's priceless. Go ahead, Oscar.
Yeah, I want to ask about your PWG appearance, which you just had just recently. It was back-to-back nights. Before you had your match, I was wondering did you feel any pressure at all that you have to perform well? Because I don't know if you noticed, the PWG crowd is very hostile. I'm pretty sure it's more hostile than a Ring of Honor crowd. But like I said, did you have any pressure going into this, your match between Brian Cage?
I don't know that hostile is the right word for them. The PWG crowd, at least from my experience and from what you hear from the boys, they're very accepting. They're very they're open. I think if you look at hostile, New York City and Philly are the two most hostile crowds I've been in front of, where it's like they're going to boo you unless you prove something to them. And like, if it's your first time and you make a debut in front of one of those two crowds, they're more apt to boo you than they are to be open to cheering you. They're just very difficult. Like, you really have to earn them. PWG, not to say you're not earning the fans there, but they do follow what we do in Ring of Honor, in Dragon Gate, and Evolve, and all those different places. And I don't know, it was more of a relaxed atmosphere. Like, they're loud, they're into it, they're receptive to stuff. So I wasn't nervous in that aspect. I remember talking to a couple of guys, I think it was the Young Bucks, that day, and I said, man, this is so weird. I was like, I'm not nervous. I don't know, like, and I expected to be. And then maybe as the show started, it was like match 1 went out, and I was match 2, and I was like, okay, it just hit me, like, nerves. But that hits me every show I do. I've never had, I don't recall ever having a show that I didn't have nerves before walking out the curtain. I think that's normal. I don't really talk about it with the guys, but I assume everybody's that way. You know, if you love what you're doing, you're going to have nerves. You're going to have feelings about it. So.
Yeah, because to me, I never really been in a crowd that's more like loud. That's why I see it. Like, to me, BWG is like, you can say the West Coast version of ECW, because ECW crowd was like nuts, and that's how I see it in BWG. I never really been in the East Coast and go to Philly or New York. You know, I never been around that crowd, but like you said, maybe they're more hostile. Maybe one day I'll have to go to New York or Philly to experience that. But to me, with the West Coast, it is a very hostile crowd. Another thing I always want to tell you, like, the reason why I really said it's hostile, because I'm not going to give out any names, but there was a performer there that did terrible, and they did chant it, "Don't come back, don't come back," you know. That's why I asked you that question, you know, because or maybe you could say I mentioned that this crowd's hostile because if you perform bad, they're gonna eat you out of the building. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Chris.
I could see that. You know, they have such a talented roster. I don't know how many guys are performing bad, and I think when you hit a certain point, I don't think I ever worry that I'm going to perform bad anymore. You know, I'm comfortable with what I do. I'm confident with it. I think you worry about other things. I don't worry about performing bad. Like, you just want to, I don't know, you want to live to see another day. You want to make, you want things to go smoothly, but performing bad is not something I really think about often.
Yeah, definitely. Chris, you got any other questions?
Yeah. I knew it would be a natural fit with you and that crowd. I mean, I'm sure you next time you come, will even be more receptive. And I want to talk about Ring of Honor again. And now, real quick, with the change of direction Ring of Honor has taken in the past year, basically the whole Cornette situation, do you believe ROH is back on the right track going forward after that situation?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, I don't know that it was a wrong track at any one particular moment. It was just a change of times. And, anytime there's a change of times, you just have to be patient and see it out. In ROH's sense, they always had one of the most talented rosters in the world. So business is never going to be completely bad if you have that much talent. Because regardless of how things are hard booked or how things are promoted, or at the end of the day, two guys are going to get in the ring, and if those two guys can go, they're going to put together a good product. As far as it was just a change of hands. There was a lot of changes of hands, from Dave leaving and however many years he took place as head promoter. Those next 4 years, going between guys like Pierce and Cornette and Delirious, it was you just had to be patient. You just had to see it through. And for me, I didn't have much. I had no experience with Gabe in Ring of Honor, very little at least. I had very little experience with Pierce. So Cornette was really like the first thing I knew. I had nothing to compare it to. I was just happy to have the opportunity. So I don't know, man. It was like, for me, I still got to work in the ring with guys like Eddie Edwards and Jay Lethal and stuff. So it wasn't really a bad experience for me. It was a good time. I understood the fan base changed, but that just came with TV. As it grows, they might lose some fans. They're going to gain some fans. I think that's just the nature of the business now.
I mean, and personally, I love Cornette. I mean, geez, talk about picking someone's brain, and I'm sure he's got a million ways to tell you how to do something, advice, or just anything. I mean, it's Jim Cornette, for Christ's sake. And real quick, I wanted to before we go, I mean, because I got to talk about the card coming up, and that card, I'm very looking forward to, and no doubt will be both shows. I'll be at both of them, and that's the return to Philly for the Death Before Dishonor XI on September 20th, and they will also have TV tapings the next day, 21st, in the same venue. And ROH Championship tournament semifinals. You're going against Adam Cole. What is your feeling going into that?
Oh, man, there's a lot of feelings. I think I'll be more nervous about that match than I've been about anything in a long time. Just thinking, a couple of years ago that my goal was to get into Ring of Honor, and then thinking, okay, now I have to find my way to the top of the mountain, and tearing my ACL just when I thought I was kind of catching on to things. A year ago, this is something I definitely looked at and said, all right, there's two goals I have when I return to the ring. I want to get into PWG, and I wanted to return in time for Bola, and I wanted to get back to Ring of Honor, and I wanted to just really take it by storm. Like, I really wanted to get into that main event picture. So to be in it alone is emotional for me. It was a big road to get here. And then to look across the ring at a guy like Adam Cole, he's a guy that has somehow storied my career the last probably 4 or 5 years, from my win at the Super 8, which was with him in the finals. My first match ever in Ring of Honor was against Adam Cole, or I should say my first match, since leaving WWE, was against Adam Cole. That was in Providence, I believe, or somewhere near the Boston area. I think it was Providence. And then, we met again in a tournament for Ring of Honor Television, and we were the last two competitors in that tournament. So Cole and I have had a number of times in the ring together. I've actually beat him every single time we've wrestled, which is something that's pretty cool for me going into this. And I couldn't ask for a better opponent, man. He's tough, he's talented, he's got the world of wrestling just, by the nutsack right now. The kid's on top of the world. So going into the match, I feel like, we have the potential to have one of our best competitive matches that we've ever had to date, and I really think we could take the Ring of Honor world by storm if both of us are on our A game that night.
And I also watched you beat Adam Cole for the Super 8 championship a few years ago, so you could add that one to that list as well.
Yeah, I watched that back a couple of days ago, actually, and it's amazing how much we've both grown as competitors since then. So I'm really interested to see what happens in Philly. And I think it's just going to be a memorable moment. I know it's going to be memorable. It's going to be good.
And it must be great to be in this spot after your knee surgery and everything that you got back in full strength to be in this spot. To me, as a fan, I'm very excited, because I've been behind you for a long time, and finally everyone, around the country is seeing you more than they have in the past, and I'm proud, pumped, and I'm ready to go to Philly. And go ahead, Oscar. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Before I ask, I want to let listeners know, if you have any questions for Tommaso Ciampa, you better call in 760-454-1107 or tweet us at WrestlingHeads or tweet me at Sinister632. He's not going to be here that long, so if you have any questions, you better do it now. My next question I want to ask you, I know you were part of the WWE developmental system for some time being. You had a Sunday Night Heat match. You actually teamed up with Kofi Kingston against Murdoch and Cade. Can you explain your experiences performing in a bigger crowd? Because I know at WWE they always do arena shows. It's not like how you do you perform in a small venue. So, how's your experience wrestling in a bigger crowd?
It's pretty similar. Smaller crowds, I think maybe there's a little more eye contact or chatter back and forth. It really wasn't much different with the big crowd. I stuck with my style. Plus, it was really a short match, the tag match. One thing with the bigger crowd is they are definitely, overall, it's easier. than it is working in front of a smaller crowd. A smaller crowd, it's like a pin can drop and people hear it when the match starts, where in a big crowd, everything kind of gets lost in the motion. And once, a group of fans react, it just has that domino effect in the big stadiums. So chants start up easier, yays and boos kind of come easier. So overall, it was probably an easier experience. I don't really have a preference. I like the big crowds, but the small crowds have their own cool niche to them. Or even a crowd like, PWG, I don't know how many they pack in that, but I'll say it's 500 or whatever it is. That's awesome. Like, that rowdy wall-to-wall feeling is amazing. So the only thing that's ever negative is when you have a really, really huge arena or stadium or what venue and it's empty and it has like 50 people in it. That's the worst feeling because it's just the appearance of it. But if it's a small building and they packed 100 in tight, it feels just as good as it does to be in front of 5,000 people. It's all the same to me. Yeah, definitely. I know you don't have that much time to spend. You don't have any much time to spend with us. Chris, you got a final question before we let him go?
I know he has to go, and I'm just gonna promote the show coming up. Like I said, everybody. I know Philly's gonna be there, but I want all the surrounding areas to be there. It's September 20th and 21st. It's Death Before Dishonor 11, and TV tapings on the next day. And you have Tommaso Ciampa versus Cole, Elgin Steen in the semifinals. And that right there, to me, that's enough. I'm going to be there for that. But you also have Rocky Romero and Kozlov, the Forever Hooligans against American Wolves, Roddy Strong versus Ricky Marvin, Red Dragon will be there, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, Eddie Kingston and Homicide. But like I said before, most importantly, Tommaso Ciampa will be there, and I am pumped, and it can't come fast enough. And I want to thank you for being on the show tonight, and hopefully down the road you could come back.
I appreciate it, man, and like you said, hopefully a lot of people come out for that. That's going to be an amazing weekend in Ring of Honor history. And all the others out there, I couldn't name off the schedule I have because I don't ever remember it by heart, but if you follow me on Twitter, @ProjectChampa, that's your best way to kind of keep up to what I've been doing in the business lately. But I do appreciate you guys having me on tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. And like what he says, I hope you could be on back in the show again. And hopefully I can see you more at PWG because you guys do it in California. That's where I'm from. So hope I can see you more often over there.
Yes, sir. I'll be back there in October. That'll be a hell of a time. So.
All right. I'll see you in October then.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Good night. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Tommaso Ciampa. And, wow, it's too bad we could have had him longer, but, he had to do other things. But, hey, we had to do what we got to do. I know, Chris, you were happy to have him on.
Believe me, I had a crap load of questions. But, hey, man,
yeah,
I'm just happy that he was on. I'm happy he was on for one question, you know what I mean? So I'm pumped to see him in a couple of weeks. Yeah,
lucky getting East Coast, but I have to wait till October to go see him in PWG.
Hey, get on a plane.
All right. For our listeners who are listening right now, I'd like to thank you guys for listening. I know we're doing our show during Raw. Hopefully we can catch up. We all could talk about Raw because I don't know. Right now I'm in the part where Paul Heyman and Curtis Axel in the ring talking to Brad Maddox. That's where I'm at right now, actually.
I left off right when Paulie and Curtis Axel were in the training room when they were checking his knee, and they said, "We'll get a doctor." And Paulie was like, "I got my own doctor." And I left there. I was like, "Shit, Paul's the best." I have my own doctor.
That's the doctor, the guy in the blue shirt, right? That's Paul's doctor, right? Because I have it on mute right now, and that's where I'm at right now, actually. Yeah,
I hit pause and I'll watch it after the show and just comment on it Wednesday.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's a lot to talk about. I mean, you guys had a weekend this week, that unfortunately I couldn't go to, and you want to tell some stories?
Yeah, me and Skits actually on Saturday we went to a memorial show for sumo. It was a wrestler named Sumo that passed away. They did a memorial show. Not to be disrespectful or anything, but the show was like terrible. To be honest with you, it was just terrible, and I don't really want to talk shit because, like I said, it was a memorial show. So things were so unorganized. Like, example, the guru in charge of the music was screwing up, and they were screwing people's music. The mic went out. The ring announcer had to yell to introduce the wrestlers. I mean, I don't like I said, I don't want to talk to. In Huntington Park, California. Huntington Park, California. Yeah, that's what it was. And it was. I mean, I didn't really want to talk smack about it, but it was, like I said, it was a memorial show. I really cannot say anything. Oh, and for our listeners, yesterday we had Katarina Waters, a.k.a. Winner, a.k.a. Kaylee Burchell on the show. If you missed it, just go to blogtalk radio/WrestlingHeads and you will find it. We had a great experience time with her. We actually interviewed in person, not like the phone we just did with Tommaso Ciampa. I mean, last night in the radio store, fun time. It was a good time. Even though after the show we all hanged out and we all ate. Not with Katarina, but me and the owner of the wrestling guy store. We all just hanged out and ate breakfast. We watched a little bit of football. We watched the Cowboy game. And, And yesterday was football season. It just started, so, yeah. Let's take a commercial break, and we'll talk about what's going on in the world of wrestling.
I'm sorry I don't have anything really cool to say like the other guys, but you're listening to Wrestling Heads Radio, and this is Candice LeRae. Mwah.
Four Corners Radio is the home for the best professional wrestling and independent wrestling, discussions and coverage. Billy, Ant, Martin, and Sam bring you three of the best podcasts every week. The Four Corners, Raw Roundtable, the Indie Project, and the Saturday Freestyle. Along with the podcast, FourCornersWrestling.com is designed with all wrestling fans in mind. Feature articles, videos, the weekly shows, and much more. Four Corners and Wrestling Heads are teaming up to bring you wrestling's next revolution. Are you ready?
Yes, we are ready. That was Skits. Too bad he couldn't join us.
And first of all, anything Candace says is interesting to me, so she could say whatever. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Right now I'm watching Raw, and it looks like CM Punk is about to attack that doctor guy.
Oh, God.
The Paul Heyman's doctor. Oh, sorry if I spoiled it for you, Chris.
I don't know. You know me. I always look into the future.
You always look at the future.
I like spoilers.
Yeah. Speaking about the future, Sami Zayn, aka El Generico, he had a match you can say he had matches in the WWE live events. First, he had a match in Montreal, Quebec, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. He also he defeated Antonio Cesaro in a single match. And he also had another match, which I believe was in Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken. He had a tag match with Bo Dallas. I mean, he teamed up with Bo Dallas against, the Real Americans, am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and Bo Dallas got the pin. He got the victory. So, yeah. So, Chris, what's your thoughts?
I'm hoping. I mean, at first I thought, because it was at the Bell Center in Montreal. I mean, we all know that's around where he's from, Sami Zayn, Generico. And I was just thinking that when I first saw that, I was thinking, well, maybe they're giving him a gift, letting him perform in front of his, his hometown area, and throwing him a bone, and think nothing of it. And then he has the match in New York, tagging, which was weird, with Bo Dallas getting a win over Real Americans. So he's 2-0 in dark matches, which is, he deserves it. He's Generico. But my thing is it going to be a third night and a fourth night? It's sort of like what Dean Ambrose did for a solid year. are they planning for him to come up to the roster, or is this just this thing him to soak his oats, and get his feet wet and right back down to NXT? Which personally, I hope this is starting to groom him to go forward, because we all know, that he doesn't need to be down there for an extended period of time, like Hero's been down there, and how numerous of people spend friggin' tons of time down there. He don't need that. He can come up now. So hopefully he continues. So I didn't hear any report that he did a dark match tonight, though. I don't know if you did.
Yeah. Well, my thoughts is this. I remember when the brand was extended, I remember, like, say, example, Rey Mysterio. Every time Raw was in San Diego, they'll tell Rey Mysterio to come down the Raw house show and do a match there because they're in San Diego. And I think the same thing with Benoit when he was on SmackDown. They told him to come to Raw because we're having a show in Canada, in Canada, and then he's like, okay, I'll come. That's what he used to do. If they're gonna do that for NXT talent, I mean, that's I have no problem with it. I can't think of any NXT talent there that's from LA. I mean, I know Sammy Generico's not from LA. Sammy Callahan, or I could say, what's his name? What's his name? Is Solomon. What's his name again?
Solomon Crow. Yeah, he's from Ohio.
Solomon Crow, yes. Yeah. I don't know if he's from LA.
Yeah, he's from Ohio.
So maybe they do.
Callahan's from Ohio.
Ohio. So there's really no sound I could think of it that in NXT right now is from Los Angeles. But we'll see what happens in the future. And right now it's a Divas match going on Raw. It's like the Total Divas. It's like the Total Divas. There's Naomi, Brie, and Natalya teaming up against Oksana, Alicia Fox, and Layla.
You know what's crazy? My God, I mean, I know how the world works, and I know how promotion works. We all do, and I'm sure there's things that we don't know, but I know they're trying to promote this Total Divas, and it's sort of a hit. Jesus, God, they are shoveling this Divas crap down our throats. No offense, the Divas division sucks. AJ's great, but the division sucks, and they're spoon-feeding us this Diva shit. Excuse the language. And they're just doing it. I mean, they had 2 women matches on our pay-per-view not too long ago. It just feels spoon-fed. I'm sick of the spoon-fed stuff. Okay, we get it. Divas is a hit. Well, you know what? Put them on a different show. Put them on Superstars for an entire hour. I just don't think that they need to have this much publicity. Seriously. I mean, honestly, no one watches Superstars, so why don't you get that up a little bit with the female audiences or something? I'm over the Brie and stuff and Naomi and Natalya. I mean, the only buzz they got was nobody that's on Divas, and that was AJ, in my eyes. I mean, what do you think? I mean, you feel spoon-fed? I mean, I feel like a baby. I'm about to barf up carrot sauce. You know what I'm saying? I'm over it.
To me, I'm just waiting for whenever these NXT Divas debut, because they got Paige, Emma. I mean, I just can't wait until they debut. I like Naomi. Let me know. I like Naomi.
I like Naomi. I like her. Listen, I hate to see her leave, but I love to watch her walk away. She's got it. She's hot. But here's the thing. Here's what I'm asking. I got a question for you to come up. We'll talk about the future. Now, I don't know when Total Divas 2, Season 2 starts again. Do you think that they use that opportunity to pull up a Paige or an Emma? Do you think that they'll use that season to bring them up, like someone from NXT?
Yeah.
Because is that going to be the way they start introducing people?
Yeah. I mean,
sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, but to me, like, mainstream wrestling, like you see WWE and TNA, I mean, I see their women's division, like, not that great. Not great how they used to be. I mean, sometimes, like I said, we mentioned yesterday show AWS having an all-women show. We can't wait for that. We can't wait. We were supporting women wrestling, but we're watching WWE. It's kind of tough to see. And right now, Natalya just got the sharpshooter and made Nisha Fox tapped out, so you can see the Total Divas won the match. Huh?
It comes down to this. It's called passion, and it's called and those women that are on the AWS show have a zillion times more passion than half of the frigging Divas roster. I mean, and that's why it comes across as believable and competitive, the shows that you're seeing, you know what I mean, compared to just a cluster crap frigging performance on Raw, in which they only have 4 minutes. You know what I mean? If they're going to have Divas, why don't they hurry up with this WWE network and then have Divas have their own show, like wrestling-wise? I mean, I don't know.
Who knows when the network? Who knows when the network's going to come out? I mean, we've been hearing for years that they're planning to do a cruiserweight show. Total Divas was supposed to be part of the network. What about that Legend show? I mean, are they going to put that on the air?
Which is taped. Which is in the can. They actually taped it. It's actually done.
Yes, I know.
Set and match, and it's 3 years. I remember telling everybody it was like 6 months to. I remember they were doing WrestleMania. It was gonna launch the day before whatever WrestleMania is. I mean, it's in the past. I'm telling everybody, I was like, this is going to be awesome. They're going to show old stuff. They're going to promote, pay-per-views the right way, which they should. Maybe that PG-13 thing gets thrown out the window, and everyone was excited, and then it dropped. And then we had to wait, I think it was Survivor Series, and then they said that was going to be the launch. And then, again, it delayed, and all you keep hearing is bad things. And there's they even started doing promotions on Raw. Remember that? Show the logo? And it's just they forgot about it. Nothing. I mean, the last I heard, and maybe you heard, is they were surveying DirecTV customers, because I got one, and they asked me how much I would purchase a subscription for a month, and they gave me three options: $17.99 a month, I think it was $12.99 a month, and the other one was $10.99, and I had to answer that question. That's the last I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever got anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was just waiting to. You know what? I'm just gonna wait till I hear a confirmed date when they launch it and see what happens, because this is getting ridiculous. I mean, they promoted it's going to be in 2012. We're in 2013. We're almost to the end of 2013. Still no fucking network. What the fuck?
And the thing is, it's going to work. I mean, I already know what they should do before it even comes out. I mean, you sign Ric Flair. I know he's having health problems. Make him be a host of friggin' some old school programming. I don't know. Put the Diva show on, the Legend show. What is the holdup? Is it money? Is it distribution? Is it they're not ready for it? It's got to be something. But stop telling me.
I think it's something that they kind of. I mean, they're having difficulty. They want to have it kind of like HBO, where you have to pay another $10 a month. That's basically what they're trying to do. I think they're having difficulty to find the network like Dish and DirecTV to work some kind of. I don't know. I don't something like that.
Most they should offer is $7.99. Should be $7.99 a month, just like Netflix and Hulu. And if they were going to charge more than that, then that's very risky.
They want
everybody's going to watch.
They want $10 a month.
I'm going to get it, but not everyone's going to watch Mid-Atlantic Wrestling from 1981. You know what I mean? I will. But not everybody. So $10 is a little too much, but so I think they should have it the same as Netflix. And certainly not the first question they asked me, $17.99. I was like, what? That's crazy. But I did hear that they were going to offer pay-per-views as well on it, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But,
I want to go back to Raw for a second. I was watching the beginning of the show where Edge came out and Triple H. Maybe you can explain to our listeners what happened in this part. Edge came out, and then Triple H came out. He said something about he needs to, you're here to promote your show. And then I started putting on mute because Tommaso Ciampa was on. So then, so when I put on mute, I saw Christian look like he got jumped.
Yeah.
So
I watched the whole thing.
Can you explain what happened? Or explain to me what happened to that?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. First of all, Edge came out, started talking up Daniel Bryan and talking down Randy Orton, basically saying Randy Orton's nothing, Triple H is nothing. And then Triple H came out and started jabber-jawing with Edge, and they were both saying Triple H made mistakes, with talent observation, like Cena, like Jericho, and Edge himself, and then of course Triple H, took offense and said that Edge has never drawn any money, and before that, Edge brought out Daniel Bryan and got the pop, you know what I mean, and Edge basically kissed Bryan's ass, but in the line, the pop of the night, obviously, for that segment is when Edge told Triple H, he goes, "You're not a dictator, you're just a dick." He said dick, but, Triple H cut him off. And then Triple H said something about his nickel and dime neck, basically, he's fragile, and he goes, "Well, I can't come out there and hurt you, but I could hurt people you love." And then out comes Christian being mangled by the Shield and thrown on the ramp. Edge runs up the ramp and does the infamous, "Somebody get help." You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's
there's more to it than that.
Get help?
He was like, "Somebody get help." I know that is. Then they go to fade to black.
Oh, my God.
But it was kind of funny. The crowd had an asshole chant, and then Edge called him a dick, and which was, in today's world. He got the dick out, I think, which, I should have found a better way of saying that. But Triple H cut him off, but he got it out before.
Wow.
Which is edgy for PG rating,
Yeah. And thinking about Edge and Triple H are from the Attitude Era. I'm sure. Triple H been doing it for years and years and years.
Yeah.
But Edge kind of got off back and forth. He only appeared when he has to promote something, pretty much. Maybe he forgot, shit's PG. He's not used to. He's probably used to how he first started, and then went down to PG, and he just probably totally forgot how shit's PG. He's probably remembering more when he his time before he won the WWE title. So
yeah,
he should give him a pass.
Of course,
for
it all. Yeah, and I'm sure it all started when. I know it's all scripted, but I'm sure it all started when Triple H said that Edge really never drew any money, and that just started the verbal. But my thing is, I don't know where to go on with this, because obviously the guy that they're pushing, to me anyway, I'm not, and this is even more than Randy Orton, because Randy Orton's got the belt, he don't need pushed right now. But the guy that they're pushing is Daniel Bryan. Really, they're trying to push him to the moon, even in this segment. And he just, to me, I don't know how it helped. Just the crowd's formed. The crowd was going bonkers for Daniel Bryan. That's not my point. My point is, it was everyone else was talking, and Daniel Bryan was just basically standing there like the audience. I don't know if that's by design or if that's going to work, but if he's the guy, so my point is, I don't know where they're going to go with this. You know what I mean? What happens tonight? So we'll see. Just one segment
I just see it like
3
a
hours.
one-time thing. I just feel like it's a one-time thing. Edge is there. He has history with Christian. That's it. He doesn't. Edge is not going to get any physical involvement. We already know that. He teased it last time with him and Kane, but it's not going to happen. The only thing I can see, maybe he hit Randy Orton with a chair. He cost Randy Orton the match. That's the only thing I could see happening.
It would be awesome if Edge was. It would be awesome if Edge was okay and being able to do something. And I know what I would do: have Christian act like he was faking the injury, and then Christian later on smacks friggin' Edge in the head and turns heel as well, which I doubt is going to happen, because that means Edge would have to return. So, but if they wanted heat, they could get it real quick in Toronto. But it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate Edge can't perform. He's legit hurt. Okay,
I know I'm not there yet, but it's been reported the weekend, but that Goldust is returning tonight to have a match with Randy Orton. I don't know what it is. Is there a stipulation going on or anything?
I didn't see that. I just saw that they did a Shattered Dreams promotion. They showed Goldust's career, like the video montage.
That's what it's been showing, though. It's been showing on the show.
I didn't see
today.
I like I said, after the first hour, I had to go because of the interview. The last thing I saw was basically the video montage. I didn't hear anything about stipulations. I'm sure someone's coming out and announcing the stipulations. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's just there just to get revenge for his brother. If there's a stipulation going on that make Cody Rhodes come back, that'd be sweet. And that'd be the reason why Edge could make have cost Randy Orton the match later on against Goldust. Just cost him and bring Cody Rhodes back. I'm assuming that's if there's some stipulation going on, that's going to be it.
Well, what they need to do is. What they need to do first is with Cody Rhodes. They cannot push Cody Rhodes into no world title matches right now. Daniel Bryan's in that spot. So whatever they're doing with Cody Rhodes, it's got to be totally opposite of what's going on in the main event coming up this Sunday. I don't know what they're doing with Cody Rhodes and Goldust and all that crap. But Daniel Bryan should be the focus right now. You know what I mean? I know there's a lot of people on this show and other people around saying, well, it's time to push Cody Rhodes. He's not over like Daniel Bryan, so...
Yeah,
I don't know if you put him in world title matches, maybe world heavyweight title matches, but he's not WWE title material right now. It's not going to happen.
You know what? I could see him being the world champ sometime before the year ends. Like I could see
WWE?
Maybe Damian. No, the world title.
Okay.
I could see maybe Damian cashing it in, and then he could lose it to Cody Rhodes. Maybe that's the WrestleMania match right there for the world title. Damian Sandow versus Cody Rhodes. WWE, you should hire me. I know my shit.
Yeah, I just can't see Cody Rhodes in the WWE title picture, but the world heavyweight title, no doubt about it.
And it'd be cool whenever he wins the world title, his father comes out and just claps and congratulates, give him a hug, because his father was former world champion. Because if you look at remember that match they had between Del Rio and John Cena, the best, like they have highlighted, you can see highlighted moments when Hogan won the WWE title, Sting winning the Royal title in WCW, then you had Goldberg, and you had Austin. You remember that, like about a month ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes was part of that Royal title, so he could come out and congratulate his son, That'd be freaking awesome.
Sort of like a Rhodes moment.
Yeah. And, I see R-Truth on my TV, and he looked like he's going to wrestle... Hold on, we'll get to there in a minute. Hold on. He looks like he's going to wrestle Del Rio. It's been reported today that they're planning to have R-Truth to replace Mark Henry, go against the Shield for this Sunday's not Main Event, Night of Champions. Come on, really? R-Truth?
To me, that's insane. That's an absolutely insane concept. I just insert guy here. You know what I mean? Did they throw darts at pitchers? Did it come up with that? Come on, you know he shouldn't be there.
Why not? They don't put the primetime players. I said this for months and months and months. They need a tag team, the face of the tag team division. Primetime players. Since their face turn, I'm liking it. Like they're getting there. And they're not there yet, but they're getting there. This is what I see in the WWE's tag team division right now. Okay, I kind of see like almost like a sports team. They're only one player away. That's what it is. They're like one team away to have the division look solid.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I don't know if you see it the same way.
Well, I think what's hurting them is legitimacy and the fact that they have teams like the Real Americans, like the Usos, like the primetime players, and there's many tag teams out there in the world they could go get too. But and then you have the tag belts on two guys who they're the Shield. I know that. Seth Rollins, I know who he is. I know Roman Reigns is. But they're the team. But you really never see. You see with Dean Ambrose, he's going off by himself. But you never see why the Shield, why Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, just them two are their own unit. Like, why are they great? You know what I mean? You never see a segment with just them two because they're a team. How long did we see Hell No segments week after week, every 10 minutes? I think what they need to start doing is showing Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins as a team, first of all, or get the belts off them and put them belts in the mix, like you said. And the one thing, to get back to what I was saying, legitimacy, have the primetime players have the belts. for a while to get legitimacy. Maybe they are a good team. They've had the belts for a while. Or the Usos, build them up. I mean, who I would put the straps on would be the Real Americans. I'd have them have a long reign, a real long reign with that little program that they're doing. But for me, I just don't see how having the tag belts on Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins helps the tag division whatsoever. And I'm one of the biggest Seth Rollins fans in the world. I just think it's time for him to go out and start doing singles matches, and Roman Reigns. And I know why they have to have belts on them to make them look like a strong unit, you know, because of the Shield storyline right now. But I agree with you. Push primetime players, push the Usos, push the Real Americans, but you got to get that belt intertwined with those teams. Am I wrong, or am I just blabbing right now? I don't know.
No, I agree with you, but hold on. There's something on Raw they're saying about a kickoff special, a kickoff match. Hold on, I'm trying to. Hold on, let me turn it off a second.
For the pay-per-view. Probably for the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Okay, this is what Michael Cole just announced. It's going to be a tag team tournament match in the pre-show between the primetime players, the Usos, the Real Americans, 3MB, and Tons of Funk. The winner of the match gets a title shot against the Shield later on in Night of Champions. There you go.
Well, then now the Big Show's not involved in this whatsoever?
Nope.
Well, here's what's going to happen then. Big Show's going to cost whoever wins that little whatever it go-between the pay-per-view, he's going to cost them to lose them belts to whoever wins that friggin' pre-show match. Something. You know what I mean?
Shit.
Just to get more heat from either Triple H or he turns face. You know what I mean? He turns, totally against Triple H to set up maybe a match with Triple H, but he doesn't. He probably doesn't. Oops. You know what I mean? Causes the Shield to lose the tag team belts. Like I just said, I just had this friggin' 10-minute rant. It's like they heard. Get the belts off the Shield. Not that they deserve to lose, but help the tag team division so they could friggin' have battles for it. I mean, it's just a trophy for the Shield right now. I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, not that they don't deserve it. They deserve it. But you never see like a program or a vignette of why Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns is a great team. You know what I mean? You never see them driving a car going, shit, we're the best. You know what I mean? Something, anything. They need to go out their own.
Okay, sorry to cut you off, but look, a return just happened on Raw. And the return of none other than Mr. Cobra himself, Santino Marella. It looked like he's going to go against Antonio Cesaro right now.
If he beats Cesaro, I retire from the professional wrestling and I leave. I'm out.
No, don't leave us, Chris. Don't leave us.
If Santino beats freaking Antonio, I'm done. I retire. I'm hanging my jersey up. I'm hanging up my Young Bucks shirt. I'm retiring my Young Bucks shirt.
I hope not, because that's the next match going on right now. I'm behind, actually. I'm not exactly in. Huh?
I'm way behind. I'm outside. I'm going to wait till later to watch it. But like I said, I don't mind hearing about it.
Hold on, someone's calling in right now. I'm guessing this is Bruce. What's going on? Is this Bruce? No, you're live on WrestlingHeads Radio 909. He's not.
Hello.
Hold on. Bruce?
Hello.
What's going on, Bruce?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
This is actually a weird show we're doing right now because we started early just for Tommaso Ciampa, and he only can be on for 20 minutes. And right now we're kind of like recapping Raw, like during Raw going on. And we're talking about like news and stuff going on, like what happened over the weekend.
Cool.
Right now
I was actually gonna introduce Tommaso in Italian, but we didn't have time.
Yeah, we didn't have time. Yeah.
So are you guys?
Bruce,
you mentioned the 4-way for PWG?
No, we did not have. You want to talk to them about some PWG while Raw's still going on? Let me go get the card right now.
Well, I was going to say specifically Tommaso, his next SoCal event will be, or a PWG event will be that four-way with him and Tony Nese, and then Brian Cage and the hardcore shooter, the hardcore crazy shooter himself, our boy.
Yeah, I'm looking at the card right now. He's in the four-way with Brian Cage, Tony Nese, and Drake Younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be PWG is actually October 19th, the night before Down for Glory, which I'm going to both shows. So tickets go on sale September 19th. So if I were you better get your tickets right on 8 p.m. Pacific time. So you guys better get your tickets right there because they'd sell out quick, like almost like a second.
Yep, and in the first 3 to 8 seconds, front rows are already gone. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's not like bowler where there's 2 nights in a row. It's one night, so it's going to be gone quicker.
Yeah. Another match I want to discuss in the card. I'm going to discuss the whole card. ACH making his return against Kevin Steen. First time he's wrestling against the heel Kevin Steen in PWG. Hopefully ACH goes over. I mean, I like ACH a lot. I mean, the PWG crowd likes ACH.
Yeah, he lit him up.
You were
the crowd on fire.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, just explain to Chris, like, how was it out when ACH was coming out? Because you were there night 2 of Bola.
Yeah, I was mentioning this to Skits. I didn't understand why Skits had such a hard-on for ACH, and then when we were watching the match, and we saw Kyle and ACH not only tell, like, a good story, but it was action-packed with ACH blending all of his, high-flying antics into it, too. But it was just amazing watching the high-impact moves with reversals, with high-flying, with technical. It was a treat. Like, I was an instant convert. I wasn't expecting that much, and I was just blown away. And for me, that was match of the night. That was match of the night right there. That night made Kyle O'Reilly for the tournament.
ECH, I've actually seen him quite a few times, and not only does he have the athletic ability, but he's also got charisma at the yin yang. You know what I mean? He's got the whole package.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, just can't wait. And Chris Santino won the match.
By what? You're hitting overhead with a brick? I hope he hit him overhead with a brick.
Pinfall, roll up.
Schoolboy. There you go.
Santino came back?
That's just amazing. There you go. You know what's awesome is that Antonio Cesaro busting his ass in NXT, making everyone look great, and just an exceptional person, wrestler, man. And he came to work tonight, and he saw on the board, oh, you're going to put over Santino Marella tonight. Oh, okay, thanks.
Sometimes I kind of think Vince McMahon's racist because, first of all, can you guys remember an African-American WWE champion?
Booker T.
None. He wasn't WWE champion.
Who?
Booker T.
Talking WWE. Never happened.
Booker T.
Booker T was the World Heavyweight champion, but, I mean...
He wasn't the WWE champion.
Okay. The Rock. There you go.
Well, The Rock is mixed, but...
No. Now you're being technical about it. He looks black.
Hey, he is mixed, though. He has some Samoan in him, though.
He's mostly Samoan.
I mean, full-color, African-American...
He's an island boy.
To me, the mid-'90s, Ahmed Johnson should have been WWE champion.
Well, he buried his own.
No, he was too injured. Too injured,
bro. He was not liked in the back, and he believed his own character way too much, and he basically buried himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not liked at all.
Oh, your favorite wrestler's coming out, Chris, The Miz.
For the man who can't fight before.
I want to get back to PWG. I want to get back to PWG because it's really raw or whatever.
Okay. No, I kind of feel the same way. I spoke to Brian Cage today, and he says he's feeling a lot better. Even though I asked him, "Did you take any concussion tests?" And he's like, "No, I didn't take anything today. I probably should have, but I guess he said, in a way, I kind of did my own testing. If I could continue on fighting, and I took 2 extra more matches since then, and I didn't have any issues, he says, that's fine. Basically, I feel like I'm working normally. And then he said, what could be expected normally after concussion is that you lose a little bit of short-term memory. And he's like, I guess that's normal. And he's like, that's the only thing that's been affected him. But motor-wise, functioning-wise, and medium and long-term memory, everything is working fine. So he thinks he's doing okay.
That's good to hear. I mean, that was a scary situation. I mean, you were in there, but it was a scary scene when that happened. I mean, everybody was just quiet, and then just looking at Brian Cage, I was just teepee-toeing because I was on the other side. And then I heard his girlfriend, like, behind me saying, oh, my God. I'm like, okay, this is real. This is not no script, because we never seen his girlfriend involved in anything. And when his girlfriend started running down there, I said to myself, "Oh shit!" he probably
the short little blonde
or something. Yeah, the short little blonde. Yeah. I was saying to myself, "Man, he probably broke his neck or something." Because Tommaso was actually going like a little rough on him, you know. So
I think remember Cage said to wake him up. Tommaso went rough on him after the fact when he got in the ring to wake him back up, to get him to basically jog him back awake. So it basically got through to Brian, and he got back into the match, but yeah, he didn't remember anything from that night. He didn't remember anything before and after the match.
Yeah.
Well, that's how men do it. Wake me up by punching me. I love that, honestly. I have a concussion. Kick my ass even more and get me back into it. I love that. That's a man's man. Seriously.
Instead of Sin Cara, oh no, I have a dislocated finger. Stop the match. Stop the match.
No mas.
You know, I don't understand that. Like, I still don't understand. Look at, I broke my finger playing football, and I still continued. And I don't know how Sin Cara could not continue from a broken finger.
Oscar, that's because you're more of a man than Sin Cara is, basically. You just said it right there.
Thank you. All right. Another match I want to discuss on the card. Johnny Gargano is going to go against Roderick Strong. What's funny is that both were in tag teams, and now they're no longer in tag teams now, and they're putting these guys in a match together, because now we know that the Dojo Bros are no longer, and I'm guessing the team of Johnny Gargano and Chuck T are no longer anymore in PWG, so they got these guys in a single match. That's kind of like a little awkward.
And right there, me and Bruce were having a conversation earlier this week of how Ring of Honor could benefit from Dragon Gate and Ring of Honor working together. But right here is a reason why, if that premise ever happened, it would be great for the East Coast. But what makes it so great on the West Coast, that a Gargano versus Roddy Strong, ROH versus Dragon Gate, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying here, Bruce. Right there is a perfect example of what me and you talked about, what makes PWG great. Because that match would not happen if there wasn't a PWG. You know what I mean? That right there is an awesome match. I mean, that's going to be a great match.
Yeah, true. There's a lot of things that we could suggest, cross-promoting. There's just a lot of things that Ring of Honor could do that is very inexpensive, and sometimes personalities or just whatever. Sometimes the stars don't align to make things come together, and I wish they would. Sometimes it's the small little things that you and I can think of that would be huge. I just wish they would, but, realistically I don't think they will, but...
No, it never happened. And this is this is a classic example why PWG is great. It's because Gargano versus Roddy Strong can happen on a national stage like PWG. It can't happen really anywhere else on that stage. It can't happen in the Northeast, working for Dragon Gate, working for Ring of Honor. And that right there is why PWG is going to go forward for a long time. I mean, cause, you know what I mean? I mean, there are two first-class athletes for talent. So, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys cared, but, or maybe our listeners that care, just letting you know that Damien Sandow just beat The Miz from distractions from Fandango. I just want to say that whoever cares. Well, now, speaking about Chuck Taylor, his new tag team now, the name of The Best Friends. Chucky T and Trent, I guess that's their new team now, the best friends. They're going to take on against Rick Swann and AR Fox, which is funny. Where the hell happened to Ricochet?
Japan.
Japan?
He'll be in Japan. Yeah.
I'd rather see the best friends against Inner City, but oh well.
I like it.
I mean,
I like it. I think Chuck Taylor could put, like, because you know the PWG crowd don't like Trent, but I think Chuck T could he'll enhance that even more. You know what I mean? Because he's just like, talk about a natural performer. You can put that dude on Saturday Night Live. You know what I mean? He's just that natural performer, and I think he's gonna. you know how he's gonna be. He's gonna get Trent Chance going. With no success.
You know what's funny? They came out to the Hangover song. We're the three best friends. you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to come out with that kind of music because, Chris, you missed it when Adam Cole and the Young Bucks came out. They came out to Queen. We Are the Champions.
Yeah, I saw that fine.
So if these guys come out with we're the three best friends, I'll be fucking laughing out there in PWG. But Rick Swann and AR Fox, that tag team is not even bad. I mean, if you're gonna replace Ricochet, AR Fox is the perfect person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean they can still do their all night long thing and everything, but I mean if you can't have Ricochet, AR Fox is a good replacement. Let me check what's going on in this card. Okay, this is something I want to talk about here. I'm actually thinking about asking Joey Ryan next time I see him this, but Candice LeRae is going to team up with Joey Ryan. They're going to go against the Young Bucks, which they didn't say is for the tag belts.
That's wild. That's wild.
I don't know.
Stuff there.
Huh?
That's wild stuff right there, man.
Yeah, I just want to know, is it for tag belts or the non-title? Huh?
Who knows? But either way, that's going to be wild.
Well, I don't think Joey Ryan's on the card, but also I think I'm asking him an AWS, but I don't think he's going to be on the card on the 28th. This is supposed to be a women's show, but I don't think he's on the card. Maybe
what do you guys think?
Huh?
What do you guys think over under? How many times Candice gets super kicked? And double super kicks count.
Double super kicks.
I'm going to say at least 10.
Jesus Christ. And she got and what's it called? Steen's finisher. I named it on the show before. Jesus Christ, that's the most dangerous move ever. I mean, kids don't do that at home.
I've seen it. I don't know. You guys were there live, and I've seen it on video. Rick Knox took the package pile driver, and it looked real scary. I mean, what did that look like in person? Because I know on TV it came off pretty heavy. I mean, he looked like he killed Rick Knox. Obviously, he didn't because he wasn't an obituary, but his head was a little deep in between his legs. Well, there got to be a better way to say that, too. Sorry, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it was. I mean, in person, it was like you could see a little shock, like whoa, like how can you say like whoa, or you know, you've been there, like oh, yeah. like that, you know. I mean, and there was a lot of what the fuck chants, you know, going on that day. I mean, it was crazy, you can say.
It was a moment.
I don't know.
It was a moment.
Bruce was there. Bruce, what? Explain to Chris.
It was unfreaking believable. Yeah, I mean, Chris, I feel really bad that you missed that show because when Regal showed up there, everyone, I mean, the Bucks, Cole, everyone from Kyle O'Reilly to ACH, everyone stepped it up. And I talked to the Bucks the following night at IWL. And I was letting them know, I was like, yo, it's going to be my birthday. And they're like, all right, we'll be sure we're going to give you a nice little surprise. So I'm kind of tempted to see what's going to happen at the next show, too.
And be super kick you in the face.
That's a very good possibility. I wonder if it's going to be a single or a double super kick.
Oh, man.
You better sell that like you're like you're dead.
That's funny, dude. That's funny that you said that because I told him, I was like, dude, I would totally sell for you, bro. Like those were the words that came out of my mouth verbatim with Toby next to me at the IWL show. Toby's laughing his ass off. We walk away and Toby's like, "Are you seriously going to take a kick to the face?" And I looked at Toby and I pointed at his face and I said, "A double kick to the face. That's what I'm going to take."
Hell
and
yeah.
he's like, "Dude, you're fucking crazy." I was like, "Dude, double kick. That would be like my life's dream to take a double kick." Yep.
Stretcher me out too. Put the halo on. Put everything on. That's what I would do. Do it all.
I'd be like, I will totally make you guys the worst bad guys. Either that, or I'll be knocked out the rest of the match, and then wake up almost at the end of the match, get a chair, act like I'm going to walk into the ring, cause a little distraction, and then cause the faces to get, I don't know, a little bit of payback on the Bucks for that.
Even come back to the next show. Come back to the next show with like with a collar on your neck and just sell it the next show too. that would be your shtick. That would be your shtick from now on. The collar around the neck for like the next year.
Dude, the collar and a cane, so I could pull like a Joel Gertner basically, and then like if they ever come by, just beat them with my cane, and one of the wrestlers could take the cane out of my hand specifically just to hit the Bucks with it.
There you go.
Dude, I've been talking about this with him. Yeah.
All I gotta say is just be careful. October 19th, because you might get super kicked.
Oh, I will. No, I will. And for a fact, I know Excalibur on commentary is going to be like, "My God, have the Bucks gone insane? They're just super kicking the crowd now." Yeah, we're going to hear that on the DVD. Yep, we're going to hear that on the DVD.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
I was trying to hint it, but I was like, you pulled it out of me, so there you go. I've been hinting at it for the past couple of weeks, but yeah, that's what's going to happen.
All right. Maybe they should super kick me because my birthday's next Monday. 1 week from today.
Dude, you could even ask and be like, after you super kick him. It's his birthday too. There you go.
All right, a month later. A late present for me too. I mean,
there you go.
Kick me, fuck it. Well, you're the one who can contact him. Might as well do it. All right.
I'll ask him. I'll ask him, and I'll even say, "Hey, this guy will be standing right next to me. Super kick him too."
All right, I'm sitting right next to you then.
All right, we'll do that. We just gotta hopefully get front row seat as bad as or as quick as we can.
Yeah, we gotta get that shit like ASAP. I mean, we gotta be on it because we missed the last 2 shows. We didn't get front row. Fucking Chris did. But we gotta be on that shit ASAP.
I was going to say, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but especially if we have the Wrestling Head shirts on and we both get kicked in the face and we both get knocked out, we're both wearing the same shirt, that's going to make us instant known right there.
See my same shirt. Have you got your shirt yet, Bruce?
I ordered it.
Wrestling Head shirt. You ordered it already?
Yeah, I got it today, but I didn't.
I ordered mine last week. I thought I would get it today, but maybe because of the holiday, because it was last week Labor Day, maybe I might get it tomorrow then. Well, if I don't get it tomorrow, I'm going to talk some shit. Chris, how long it took you to get the Wrestling Head shirt?
A week.
A week? See, I ordered mine at Labor Day last week, so hopefully by tomorrow. And I don't know if you can help me out there. Maybe by tomorrow. You think so, Chris?
Well, it all depends. I mean, I don't know how far it comes. I don't know because you're on the West Coast. I don't know where mine came from. I think mine came from what was it? I think Illinois. I'm pretty sure, and mine took a week from Illinois, and that's 8 hours away from my house. So, take a guess.
All right, right now, Goldust is coming out in the ring. If you guys care. What's funny is that even with all that makeup, he looks older already.
Because he is.
But to get out of WWE, I want to talk about the main event, which no surprise, Adam Cole's going to take on Kyle O'Reilly for the PWG Championship. Hopefully Kyle wins it because he deserves it. I mean, he's busting his ass in PWG, you know. I mean, he even said the show he's more a serious guy, and I think his wrestling skills is more better in PWG than Ring of Honor. Like I said, I'm hoping he does walk out with the title. I don't know what you guys think.
Chris, do you think he will though?
Kyle O'Reilly? Well, I just don't think how it would help the Mount Rushmore angle if Adam Cole loses the belt. You know what I mean? They got a good thing going with that right now. I could just see Kevin Steen or somebody helping him win that match. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Before the push of Pensacola Flavourweight, he started, or before he actually got the title, he started showing that character first. Something tells me before Kyle O'Reilly would win a title, he'd have to have something that would show him more. And I don't think 2 promos, one tiny one and then one long one on the show is going to be enough to create the evolution of a character to get him that title push.
I just don't see how it would help Mount Rushmore. We're calling it Mount Rushmore. That's what we're going to call it. I don't know how that would help that angle at all. And it seems like every time Adam Cole walks out that curtain and steals another victory, his stock just goes higher and higher, and then it gets more and more and more. And I just don't see how PWG benefits by Adam Cole losing that belt, because Kyle O'Reilly would win it a year from now. So continue Cole's little run here. I mean, I think it's awesome. It's what I hope Ring of Honor does at the end of this month. Put the belt on him and make him a cocky asshole too. I mean, because he's great at it.
Yeah, I have to agree. And especially make Kyle chase it, because now he's officially seen as a main event player. But that doesn't mean you give him the title right off the bat. Kind of like, well, the same thing we're seeing right now with, what is it? The Garden Gnome. Yeah, the Garden Gnome. Daniel.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Very similar styles and very similar character and very similar situation. Just on a smaller level.
Pretty much.
I wouldn't take the belt off Adam Cole ever until he wants it off. That dude is money.
Until it gets stale. And once it gets stale, then you have, or if you have a babyface that's just exploding, but I don't see anyone hugely exploding on the indie scene that's big enough to overtake Kyle.
No. So, what was possible? Maybe Cole wins,
Drake.
but then maybe in the next event, maybe that's when Adam Cole loses his.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Like, all right, Oscar, who would you have, if you had to have Adam drop it to somebody, who would you drop it to? And the only person I could really think of is that's riding a surge of popularity right now, whether it be for work or whatever you want to call it. I'd have to say Drake because of his reactions lately. Oh, my God, a UPS truck just literally cut over 2 or 3 lanes on the freeway right in front of me.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. I mean, Drake, Kyle O'Reilly. I mean, I would have said Kevin Steen if he stayed a face, but I can't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah, he pussied out. Yeah, he pussied out, basically.
Yeah, so I'll just give one of those 2 guys right now, either Drake or Kyle O'Reilly. I mean, who else can I put? Trent?
No, you know what'd be cool? You know what'd be cool is if Kevin Steen really runs with this being hated role and starts helping Cole pull out victories. So, you know what I mean? Like, you know, he just becomes a total asshole and just, like, will not allow Adam Cole to lose. You know what I mean? He sneaks in, he becomes this conniving little bastard, you know, to help these 4 guys out. Maybe he does it in the Young Bucks match, too.
It sounds weird and kind of unfathomable to think, but could you see Kevin Steen as a henchman? Like,
just
maybe
not
it might
like
get
a henchman,
people to hate him more.
Like a dirty, rotten friggin' scoundrel. He won't allow what the fans want to happen. You know what I mean? And then Super Dragon eventually comes down the road and friggin' saves the day or something. I don't know.
Oh, man. That'd be freaking sweet.
All right.
Super Dragon comes out.
Now, all right. So I'm thinking, who would you pair up with Super Dragon to take on Mount Rushmore? Kyle O'Reilly, Drake. Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly, Drake, Dragon, and who else?
Gargano?
Joey Ryan?
You know what? No, Joey Ryan?
I'd have to say Joey. Joey.
Well, I'll put Gargano just in case Joey doesn't sign with the WWE because he's been visiting their performance center lately. So WWE's keeping an eye on him right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Whoever it is, you'd have.
I have to say Gargano. Well, I don't know why Candice LeRae's in this monster. Anyways, but oh well. And just right now, Randy Orton just beat Goldust. Whoever cares.
Well, who even thought that Goldie was going to stand a chance against a champ, a COO, a CEO, and 2 heel GMs? Like, who honestly thought that Goldie was going to win back Cody's job?
What about this? What about? Well, I hate not to go off PWG, but I want to keep on this. It would be awesome. I'm going to say this during the Candice, Joey versus the Young Bucks. Let's say Rick Knox is the referee, and Rick Knox causes Candice and Joey to lose and joins Mount Rushmore as the evil referee.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Fucking Nick Patrick role.
Yeah.
And technically, if there's one ref that could pull that off, it would have to be Knox, not only for the fact of the battles that he's had with the Bucks, but he is like the elite PWG ref. He could technically pull that off.
And it would add to the Bucks storyline with him, because where else can you go? He's done flips over the top rope. He's been super kicked a million times. He's pushed ladders over. I mean, what better way to continue the story is have him turn heel to aid the Bucks onto victory over Joey and everyone's lovable Candice. Talk about heat. And then you could have a match between Rick Knox and Candice at the next next show.
Are you trying to do a little ECW thing there going on?
I got to talk to Candice or Excalibur. I need a gig.
Yeah. You're making it sound like so ECW-ish.
Well, in a way, kind of like it kind of is like, come on, I'm pulling a Joel Gertner. Come on, yeah, this is becoming like the second gen of like ECW, but just better with better athletes.
Yeah, I mean, you could do anything. You could come up with any idea, but you know how PWG is. PWG is nuts. I mean, they'll do this. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Speaking of Excalibur, he did an interview, and he doesn't really do much of them, and it was posted up on PWG forums. Anyone, when you get a chance, check it out. And he was actually kind of happy talking about how now they're on WWE's radar too. And I was like, So I'm thinking go ahead.
Did you see the High Spots interview he did with Kevin Steen yet?
No, I didn't, but I want to check that out from you.
Pretty good.
That, and I want to see Kevin's interview with the Bucks. That one, I got to see both of those. And then let's see.
Go ahead.
I was going to say we have Kevin's interview in October at the next show, and that's going to be amazing. But it'd be funny if we talked to like Excalibur and we try to get him an interview beforehand or after, whenever. I want to do hopefully before the October show and pass that idea along, because you're on to something. That is just about insane enough to make it work.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they'll think of a way better idea than what I could come up with, because they're PWG. But what's cool about that High Spots interview, they show. I know you guys remember when Kevin Steen walked around the crowd and started interviewing people right before the show started. Well, they show that video on there, so I highly recommend people who went to 10. And I don't know, you guys remember when the fake El Generico showed up and it got a big pop, and well, that's all on video, and I highly recommend. It's on High Spots. It's pretty. It looks pretty. I mean, I've seen it. It's pretty good.
Didn't they go face to face with each other too?
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah, he did.
I mean,
in the perfect time.
It was, and what's crazy is Oscar's all over the video, by the way. But and then he even interviewed the mysterious Mexican, and that's on the video. But what's crazy is in person, it came off a lot better than it did on the video, the El Generico spot, but it was still awesome.
For the people who don't know, Mysterious Mexican is one of our friends that comes with us whenever we watch the shows. I think he was wearing a Sting mask that day.
Yeah. And you know what? He was on yesterday's show actually with Katarina Waters, aka Winner, Kaylee Burton. He was at the store, and he just came in with some questions to her. So yeah, and not you guys care, but Los Matadores vignettes coming out. They're putting on right now.
Thanks for the play-by-play of something that right now I don't think anyone really cares about, Los Matadores.
And here's what's crazy. I know for a fact Oscar is not down for this at all. This whole no, and I know, as soon as that aired, I got a text from Oscar. He was not happy about this at all.
What? How cheesy Los Matadores is going to be?
I'm not going to get into it, but I just know that he's not a big fan of these guys already.
I know. I'm not really not.
Are you not? Wait, Oscar, are you not a big fan of the talent or of the gimmick that they're giving to the talent?
The gimmick. It's more like the gimmick, but at the same time, they're trying to use the Olay chant to use WWE's hoping to try and use the Olay chant for Los Matadores, not for Generico when they were debuting.
I noticed that. Have you seen on NXT, the whole crowd is chanting Olay, Olay, Olay in the middle of every NXT match he's in.
I had to do that.
Even when he fought in Quebec for a house show, and I think he went over, the whole crowd was doing it there too. So it's WWE knows that they're on to gold with him. Part of me is wondering, are they trying to capitalize on the Olay chance and also trying to parlay them off onto Los Matadores too? And I'm like, if that's the case, and then it's clearly seen in the vignette with Olay in the background too, does that mean they're going to unite them? Or
I don't know about uniting.
Maybe they're trying to deny.
I don't know about uniting. I know they're dead well. They're trying to freaking kill off the late chance for him. They're trying their best. They're trying to say, Generico's dead. It's Sami Zayn now.
Yeah, it's like they're going to try to kill it. It's like they're going to try to kill it before Generico debuts with this stupid angle. With the bullfighters and make Olay a stupid chant before the real Olay comes out. Maybe, I don't know, but it's not going to work because the crowd's going to do Olay all night when he comes out again.
I don't know if they're trying to kill it. I think they're trying to have Generico's popularity rub off onto Los Matadores to try to get them over. As weird as that sounds, because I think part of Generico's popularity also is part of that chant.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think they'd be stupid to kill it, and I don't think they're trying to kill it. I think they're just trying to use the rising popularity of Generico and use that as a rub for their other current existing talent because they're trying to get over another tag team. Which at least they're putting some effort into repackaging and giving a rub to an existing tag team. Perfect, because tag teams need it.
If they do that, if they do try to capitalize and have Sami Zayn come out and get the Olay chance as well, they're going to have to explain his past the correct way. They're going to have to say, he did wear a mask and he was Generico, and that's where that's what I'm saying. They're never. That's what I'm trying to lead to. That I just don't know if they'll go into his past because it really doesn't explain why he's getting an Olay chance. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
He's really not. They're really not showing why he deserves them. But if they do capitalize on it, they're going to have to show up because he's not playing the guy who has orphans in Tijuana. He's playing a Canadian Arabic, basically. That's what he keeps saying. I'm a half Arabic, half Canadian. He does not mention anything about what his character was. They'd have to capitalize on it.
It's true, because even Los Matadores have masks also.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they'd have to talk about it. I don't know. Who knows what they're doing?
I want to know if they're going to mention if they are ethical and primo.
No, they're not. They won't do that.
I mean, if they do that, that's dumb. But maybe because it's the land in me, because we all know they're Puerto Ricans, and Bruce, are you half Puerto Rican? Bruce, you there? I'm guessing Bruce. But like I said, Puerto Ricans don't do Mandarin a lot. They don't do that at all, and so I just think it's not formal right. So that's how I see it.
It's not even legal. It's not even legal in Puerto Rico to have bullfights.
Probably, I don't know their laws. I have no idea. So.
No, I'm saying I know it. I've looked it up. It's not even legal.
Oh, you guys spent time looking that up, Chris?
Yeah,
really?
I looked that up. As me and Oscar, as soon as me and Oscar talked about it, I looked that up.
Sam, you got way too much time on your hands.
Bruce, aren't you half Puerto Rican?
No, I'm half Peruvian. So
Peruvian,
let's see. I built pyramids and I worship aliens that have oblong-shaped heads.
Hey, let me tell you something.
I also built lines into the ground, only seen from the sky.
My father-in-law is actually taking a trip down there, and he's offered me to go down there next year with him to go see them, the Aztecs and stuff.
Okay, if you go, be prepared to get lightheaded when you go up to Machu Picchu, which is one of the towns that still exists. All right, so have a lot of water.
Yeah.
Have you gone there before?
No, that's what I'm saying. Within probably next year, there's a possibility that I might be going there.
Okay. If you go there, the day that you go to Machu Picchu, have a lot of foods or drinks that have a lot of antioxidants in it, because you're going to get lightheaded, and it's a very slow trip up the mountain because it's kind of lacking air or oxygen up at the top where the indigenous community still lives there. Yeah. So just bring a lot of water.
That's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy that you brought that up.
Yep.
I'm going to go back
talk about that for an hour.
Yeah, I want to go back to Los Matadores. I just read that they're planning as soon as they debut, they're going to plan to have them feud against the Real Americans, which scares me because it seems like they're going to put over the Real Americans a lot. And it's going to burst Chris's bubble more.
Well,
I mean,
I hate to say it, but I think it has a lot to do with Jack Swagger's screw-up. And I hate to say this, but even though it's not really looked at, but it is him slightly in the doghouse, even though he's getting a lot of TV time. But it's kind of like RVD when RVD had the belt and he got arrested.
Yeah.
It wasn't kind of unspoken. He's still getting the TV time, but I don't want to say he's getting buried, but he's just not going to be benefiting.
Well, you know what? Before he got popped, he was on site. He was in line for that World Heavyweight title. I mean, that was the big buzz that he was going to get that title with this whole Real American gimmick. And not only did he screw up that, but I read that he lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because he would have been in main events, and he screwed himself. And he was in line for that title.
Yep. And then being with, I hate to say it, but Cesaro being with him, pairing him up with him, isn't doing him any favors. And because of Cesaro's, I don't know if it's, I think they feel like lack of character development with Cesaro is also, so having both of them lack of character development and also being paired with Jack Swagger, I hate to say it, isn't helping Cesaro at all.
Yeah, to me, like, let's just say you're right, Bruce. If it's because of Jack Swagger's fuck up, why is Cesaro in it? Like, what has he done? I mean, he didn't do nothing bad.
I just don't think they believe in him.
You know, maybe because he doesn't speak well English. I mean, come on, one of your Hall of Famers is the Iron Sheik. His English was bad, so I don't get it. But right now on Raw, It's the battle of the two guys who wear the same wrestling tights, Ryback and RVD. They're about to get on.
That's going to be a good match when that. That's going to be a good match when that happens.
You know that's the same artist. The same artist does their attire. You know that?
Well, it's about to go on Raw. It's about to go on Raw right now. But right now, Del Rio just came out, and I don't know what he's seeing some of the RVD right now. I don't know. I have it on mute. So.
Thank God for DVR. I want those two to go at. I want them to go at it on a hardcore match.
He's probably asking him to smoke a bowl.
Hardcore match.
A lot of people were asking RVD who made your tights, and the guy who made it, I think, is over on the East Coast somewhere. And he just kept turning down people left and right. And so one day, Ryback actually went up to RVD and asked him, or called him up and said, "Hey, you know, who designs your stuff?" And he's like, "This guy over here on the East Coast does it, but he doesn't really do anyone else's tights." And he's like, "That's okay, I'll try myself." So I don't know how, but Ryback befriended this designer. And the designer took a liking to Ryback, and somehow, despite the fact that everyone else was also asked this designer, the designer said no, the designer said yes to Ryback. So now you have both of them sporting the same type of designer, I don't know what you want to call them, tights?
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of interesting.
You know what, let's take another commercial break.
This is BJ Whitmer, and you're listening to WrestlingHeads Radio.
Yo, welcome to WH Radio. Today's show is brought to you by the good people down at WrestlingRambles.com. For the latest in wrestling news, in-depth blog, and hot topic discussion, hit up WrestlingRambles.com. Remember, it's not just any ramble, but a Wrestling Rambles. WrestlingRambles.com. And also special thanks to Ring Rust Radio and SLTDWrestling.com. Thank you for listening.
Welcome back, people. Just to announce that maybe if you missed yesterday's show, we announced that this Wednesday we're going to have Peter Avalon back, but not just only Peter Avalon. His partner, Ray Rosas, the tag team, PP Ray, will join us Wednesday. We're going to go back to normal time, 8:30 Pacific, 11:30 Eastern. So you guys can't miss that out. So, guys, we're having PP Ray on Wednesday. So if you guys are going to join in, get your questions ready. Right now, Raw still going on. It's kind of a little awkward show because usually we'll freaking talk about the whole entire Raw, but we're just actually talking about when Raw is actually going on the show. But thank God we're going back to our normal time on Wednesday. E.B. Ray, what do you guys think? Wednesday.
Pumped.
I'm down. Yep. I'm going to ask him how did he like the drinks I got him, because I got him drunk one night over at a bar in Chino. Actually, twice. PP Ray.
Both of them?
I got, one night I got PP Ray and Rosa's drunk. Oh, shit, no, it was both nights. Yeah. Both nights, shit. One over at Shamrock's and one over at Don Jose's in Montclair.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Don Jose's was Willie Mack's birthday, so Joey Ryan was there, Scorpio Sky was there, and PP Ray, Rosas, and that was the time when Joey was with his famous girlfriend at the time, the porn star. And then another day, I had my best friend Nikki, who's in the car with me now, and my other best friend Lisa, and we were over at Shamrock's. And so we called up Toby, because I called up Toby to meet up with PP Ray, Rosas, Willie Mack, and Chris Cadillac. And that was a crazy night, too. We were all, like, drinking and taking shots there at the bar that night, too.
Hold on. It doesn't happen on Raw, but I think it's stupid. Okay, Ryback just got disqualified because he lifted up RVD and he slammed the pole he slammed his nuts on the pole. Referee disqualified him because of that. Then after that, he picked up RVD and did the cell shock. I mean, okay, this is disqualification. I mean, is that even the rule book? I mean, I understand low blow, but what happened was right back. He lifted up RVD. He smashed his nuts on the pole, and the ref disqualified because of that. I mean, is that really on the rule book? I swear I've seen a lot of people doing that for years, and they disqualified right back because of that. I mean, is that
what was the match? Was the match where the winner gets to keep the tights design or something?
I don't know, but that's how they ended. Just right back, found something disqualified, just smashing RVD's nuts on the pole, and then he brought him back in the ring and shell shocked him. And Ricardo ain't doing nothing, just standing there.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. I guess the main event next is going to be Daniel Bryan against Dean Ambrose. So they're going to commercial right now.
And first of all, how awesome is that? How awesome is that? That these two get main events. Isn't it funny that they put the great workers on main events now? You know what I mean? They're noticing it. Daniel Bryan. They're putting Seth Rollins against Daniel Bryan. They're putting Dean Ambrose against it. A year ago, you couldn't even fathom this. I love it. I'm sorry. I love it.
Well, you don't think maybe because John Cena's injured right now, and if he wasn't injured, maybe this wouldn't happen?
Well, then maybe he needs to stay injured. Because talk about going forward. I mean, I don't know about you, but I could watch Dean Ambrose paint. Dude's awesome.
Hey, but I'm liking this too. Like, putting these guys in main events, it's showing guys are stepping up. You know, like John Cena's injured. I mean, they're showing the WWE these guys can step it up. You know, you're putting Dean Ambrose and Daniel Bryan in the main event on Raw. That's something huge here. This is something huge. Like, come on.
Dean Ambrose is winning championships real soon, and I'm talking world championships. Maybe not in the next year, but this dude is it, man. He's it. To me, he's it. He's the full package, man.
You know what it is, Chris? It's funny. About a year ago, or whenever Dean Ambrose and the Shield actually debuted, I told Mr. Messi, watch, he's going to be a future champion, WWE or world title champion. He laughed at me. I told him, go ahead and laugh.
No, he's got it, man. I mean, there's people who have it, and then there's hit factors. To me, and I've been watching wrestling for a long time, which doesn't make me anything, but I could tell you that I haven't seen many guys who have it like he does. And Mr. Messi, if you're listening, you can call us at 760-454-1107. Explain to us why Dean Ambrose will never be a world champion, either the world title or WWE champion. Explain to us why. I'm inviting you to come on the show.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to say something that's not going to be too popular. I think Ambrose is going to win the world title before Cody Rhodes will.
He should. He's better.
He should, yeah. I mean, he should.
The best thing that Cody Rhodes ever had going for him was like the Phantom of the Opera gimmick. That was it.
I like that gimmick. I really did like that gimmick.
I wouldn't Dean Ambrose's. I wouldn't put Cody Rhodes and Dean Ambrose together even on a plane. I think they're light years apart. When they actually let Dean Ambrose be Dean Ambrose, or I call him when they let him be John Moxley before he was Dean Ambrose, he's gonna go to the stratosphere. I mean, as a heel, because he is one of the guys. He is one of those guys who could get real heat, like old school heat. When they let him go, when he's on his own, look out, man. He's gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah, I agree with Chris.
I'll keep an eye on it.
I agree with you, Chris. I mean, when he goes by himself, it's going to be crazy. And I would like to see him and Seth Rollins have a feud wherever the Shield breaks up. I think that would be a great feud.
And here's what's crazy about Ambrose, and I've been watching him his whole career. That dude could wrestle. And I'm talking chain wrestling. That dude he goes toe-to-toe with Daniel Bryan on the indie circuits and gymnasiums back in the day, and he's going to do it again tonight. Watch, he could go. And he's not small. He's a big dude. So you can't say, oh, he's small. But his promos are out of this world when they let him do it.
Yeah.
You know who I can't wait to see pair up with Dean Ambrose is Sami Callihan or Solomon Kane, whatever you want to call him. I cannot wait to see him partner up with Dean Ambrose.
They have history, you know.
That'll probably be like 2 or 3 years from now. Speaking of Ambrose,
they came up
coming
together.
out right now. Huh?
They came, Callahan and Ambrose, they came up together. You know what I mean? In the Indies. So those two are really close friends. So
they were best friends in CCW, and they came up in the Indies and kind of almost lived close to each other.
So I think it was IPW back in the day. They came together. Hey, I'm always one of the Dean Ambrose fans. Even if it doesn't work in WWE and something happened, I will always beat back on that guy. He's amazing.
And I got Sammy's back.
Yeah. Yeah, but if that can ever happen, it's even 2 or 3 years. Sammy's gonna be developmental for quite a bit. I don't think they're gonna they be on really quick. You know, it's everybody's gonna have the spot. You know, it's gonna take their turn. You know. To me, right now, I mean, I don't know if you guys are gonna be. I mean, you guys might rant on me on this, but I kind of see Pac getting his debut before Generico does. I don't know if you guys agree.
He deserves it. He's been there longer.
I mean, he's been developed for a while. I mean, I can't remember when he signed when he first signed with the WWE. I just can't remember. But if, like I said, Pac will get before Generico does.
I remember he did a PWG show, and I forget which one it was. Was it 2011? And then that was it, and then he signed. I don't remember, but it was at least 2 years. But could you imagine, me and you had this conversation earlier this week, Oscar, or it was Skits, whoever, but can you imagine all the guys that have been in developmental and came the same time as Hero, and then you have all this new group that's coming up that might get to the main roster, and even this next group with Sammy. Are all these guys going to go up to the roster before Hero? There's got to be more to the story than him not looking good on TV, by the way. I mean, there's legitimate something. They don't trust Hero at all. I don't know what it is, but he's been there for how long? I mean, a long time. So something legit happened with. I'm not even going to speculate. I thought he was going to. We all heard. You know. I thought
after when Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns debut, I thought Hero was going to be next, but he still haven't came out.
And then I remember seeing him on NXT, and then he didn't look well. I'm just going to say that. And then you started hearing the rumors that Triple H was down there at that taping, and then said something about he didn't look good on TV. And then it's just been he's not even on the NXT opening monologue. Like when NXT starts, he used to come out. He's not even on that anymore.
Hey, we're going to be having a guest coming up in a little bit.
You sure about that?
Yep.
Is it a mystery guest?
You can say that. We've been talking about him tonight.
This person's calling right now. 530 area code. You're live on Wrestling Heads Radio. Who's speaking?
Hey, this is Brian Cage.
Holy shit! What's going on, man?
What's happening? What's going on, guys?
We were just talking about. All right, Chris, you got to tell them what you were telling me earlier about Cage, about what was so impressive.
Well, the fact that, this is what I heard, that after you got concussed or whatever, talk about a man's man, asked Tommaso to, wake you up in a rough way, to wake you up to get you back into the game. I mean, that's a man's man. That's all I said. It's like that's how real people do it,
I was not ballet out there, man, and I didn't want to give up, but I mean, I also have to give credit to Tommaso to obviously take control of the match, because obviously I wasn't 100% in there, but didn't want to stop and did what we could do. So.
Yeah, and you had a lot of people definitely that were concerned, and we're just hope that everything's fine now. Though that's all we care about, definitely.
Yeah, it's I know a lot of people were concerned, and I such a blur to me, everything, not only the match, but afterwards, a little bit before, later at night, everything's pretty much like a forgotten memory at this point. And Saturday, I know not a lot of people were too keen on me wrestling again, and I went back and forth on that. I wanted to wrestle. I told him, like, look, I understand the concern and the danger about it, but if you're giving me the opportunity to wrestle, then I'm going to wrestle. If you don't want to wrestle, then just tell me I'm no longer booked and I can't wrestle. But luckily I got to work Drake too, so I think that was probably the best person in that situation for me to work as far as being able to protect myself and not get knocked out again. So and normally too, I mean, just like in UFC or football or anything, you're usually out for like a month or so from competing or playing after concussion. And I already wrestled again this past Friday, and I had 2 matches then as well. And I was careful about it, not make sure basically not to get dropped to my head on the outside again. But it is a little bit of a scary situation because if it is to happen again, it's going to happen that much sooner, and like that can end your career. But I was happy. I was perfectly fine. I took a couple bigger moves, and so far so good. So and just like any injury, you get a little fearful of it. You know what I mean? Makes you feel like a little hesitant to do certain things. So then once you do it and kind of conquer that fear, you're like, oh yeah, I'm back to normal now. I can do this. Yeah.
You've had a few matches since then. Are you fine? Do you feel anything, or do you sense, or do you have do you feel like you missed a step, or is everything perfect?
I would say everything's pretty much good right now. I would say some things short-term memory-wise might slip up, but I'm pretty much good to go. About middle of last week, I started to feel better. I took it kind of easy in the gym. I mean, I still went and worked out pretty hard, but I didn't try to overdo it. And this first Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I was pretty out of it still. But now coming this week, I'm perfectly fine.
Interesting.
Did the locker room now want? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask him. When I just want to tell him that when I was at the show when you got injured, and then your girlfriend was behind me at the time, and then I at first when you were laying down, I don't know if this was part of the show or if you really were hurt. I was trying to tippy-toe see how were you, but then I heard your girlfriend said, "Oh my God," and she started running. Yeah, she started saying, "Oh my God," she started running. And I was like, "Okay, this is real. This is real. This is not no fucking part of the story,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, wow. I hope he's okay, I hope he ain't dead.
Yeah, I know. I heard some people were pretty freaked out about that and thought, it could have been a lot worse in that case. And I know she loves going to PWG, and I felt pretty bad that she had to witness that. Obviously, that freaked her out, maybe probably more than anybody. I know she wanted them to end the match, didn't want me to keep wrestling, but I'm glad they didn't. I know they tried. Knox tried to pin me out, in count 3, but I kicked out anyways. I was like, nah, fuck that shit. Let's do it. So, but I know, I'm pretty freaked out. And a lot of people think that just because it's wrestling, they're they always wonder, is that really real? But I mean, you see, the injuries are really real a lot of the time. So.
Yeah. Another question. I saw B-Boy picking you up. Can you remember what he whispered you in your ear? Because I know he was whispering to you something, but can you remember?
I have no idea. Just from what he had said and what my girlfriend had said, I know he just kept on asking me, if I could just go here and if I knew the date, if how many fingers, if I wanted to continue the match, just things like that and that nature. And I know at first when he first came on and checked on me, I wasn't responsive at all. He said that nothing was coming out, and then they were just going to count me out, and then I came back to and rolled in, and then I stumbled or something on the whip and just found my equilibrium, and that's when he tried to roll me up, and I kicked out. So then he threw me back outside to regain my bearings, and then this is just from third person perspective. If you open people tell me this, so then I know when he was hitting me on the outside, that kind of had me come back to life, right. Even though I still don't really remember it. I know that's kind of what woke me up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted
that's why you're as a man. That's why you're light years ahead. That's why you're light years ahead of anybody that I've seen. So you're that shows just heart and passion and just everything. Name it. But
well, I mean that's. I appreciate the praise you have given me for that, and that means a lot. Was the smartest thing? I don't know, but I'd like to think that pretty much any other real wrestler would have done probably the same in my shoes. Just because that's just usually how it goes, and everybody wants it so bad and is just so passionate about it. Like had the situation been switched, I would imagine that Tommaso would have been the same person that I was. You know what I mean? I think he would have wanted the match to keep going, especially too for him debuting. So, that's just I think kind of separates from the people who really want it. You know what I mean? From who just says they want it.
He was actually on earlier in the show.
Yeah. Well. All right. Well, Brian, we have to. Sorry, but we have to let you go because we're about to end the show. Wish we could have you on longer, but before we let you go, you want to give out your Twitter?
Yeah, sure, man. Anyone out there listening can follow me at Mr. GMSI_BCage. And Facebook is Facebook.com/Brian Cage. So get it out there.
Oh, tell them about your new T-shirts too.
Oh yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees. ProWrestlingTees.com/Brian Cage. Go pick up some new Brian Cage T-shirts.
All right. Well,
I got one. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to tell Brian, thanks for calling in. If you want, Brian, you can call back 1 week from tonight because 1 week from tonight's my birthday. You can call me and say happy birthday to me if you want to. Go ahead.
All right, I'll try to make a mental note of that. If I forget, then I'll blame it on the concussion. So.
All right, I'll give you a pass. You forget. All right then. Well, thanks for calling in.
All right, guys. No problem.
Take care.
Brian, take care, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, unfortunately, we got to end the show. So we got to give out our Twitter. So starting with Chris, give out your Twitter.
ROH code, and that's it.
All right, mine is BCraft, BKRAFT 4637.
And as for me, it's Sinister632. And you can also follow me on Instagram, Vine, same name, Sinister632. Follow Wrestling Heads. Buy our T-shirts at ProWrestlingTees/WrestlingHeads. Let me see. And also Wednesdays, PP Ray will join us on the show. Don't miss that out. All right? So Wednesday, we're out. Peace.
Later.